Hi, I'm Eric Folks, and today we're going to talk about exporting your Smart Notebook lessons so that students can access them at home. You've got a couple of different options here, but basically there are 3 steps. First, create the lesson. Next, get your lesson online, either through uploading it to Schoolworld or uploading it to Dropbox. Third, show students that they have 3 options for opening those .notebook files, which is the Smart Notebook file extension. First option is to download Smart Notebook and install it at home for full functionality. This is a full version of Smart, but it gives them full capability. It's a big download, but then they'll have full functionality of your lesson. Second option is to download the lesson and then go to Smart Notebook Express and browse to where they downloaded the file and open it that way. And the third option, best option for those with a slow internet connection, is to copy the URL or the link to the notebook lesson, the Smart Notebook lesson, either from Schoolworld or Dropbox, and then go to Smart Notebook Express and open a URL and paste that in there so that they don't ever have to download the lesson itself. Alright, so let's go through these step by step. I've got another Smart Notebook lesson open here. This is Ride Johnny Ride, an annotation activity. I've got under my different views, I've got it in dual page mode so that we can actually see some of the text and see the directions over here. And you can see that this file has lots of functionality to it. Drag and drop the correct sentence type below. So here is sentence number 1. So we're going to drag over one of the sentence types and let go, and it inserts it in there. Okay, so there's lots of functionality in here, including pinning the page, dual page mode, all this kind of stuff. So I've created my Smart Notebook lesson. So step 1 is done. Next thing I need to do is get the lesson online. So I'm going to go to Schoolworld, log into Schoolworld, go to whatever page I'm going to work with. We'll just go to this lessons page. And we've got a couple of different options here. I can upload it straight to the Files tab. If I click on that, this is probably the easiest way, and browse. And where did I put this? I'm thinking in here. All right. So I click Save. Now, a couple things while this is uploading Schoolworld. Depending on the size of your lesson, and that was a pretty lengthy lesson. If we look at the page sorter, there's about 25 pages here. So that's a fairly lengthy lesson. But there are some limitations in terms of the size of the file that you can upload to Schoolworld. So if it doesn't upload and you don't get this message and see your uploaded file right here, then chances are the file is just too big. So I'm going to go to View Page and show you what that looks like. So there's my notebook file, and it even tells me that's a notebook extension. So that's how I got it to Schoolworld. Now let's see how we get it into Dropbox. If I go to Dropbox, I'm going to go to my public folder. When I am uploading things to Dropbox that I want to share easily just with a link to other people, I put it in my public folder. So I'm going to click on that and go in there. Now I'm going to click Upload, choose the file. I'm going to go to that same location, same file. Now, you have a 300 megabyte limit when you're uploading to Dropbox using the web interface. For Schoolworld, I've heard anything from 10 megabytes to 500 megabytes depending on what you're talking about and how it feels at the time. So the good thing about Dropbox is you probably aren't going to have any problems uploading any of your notebook lessons to Dropbox. It'll take even the big ones. Alright, so I'm going to say done, and now we can see the notebook lesson in here. So I'm going to just right click on it. I'm going to copy public link to my clipboard. So now if I go back in the school world, now I'm going to click on the page info so that I can get to the body of the text. And I can take that link that I've copied to the clipboard and I can attach it to any text or image that I want. I just highlight the text, click hyperlink, backspace over that, and right click and paste that URL or that public link to the file that I put in Dropbox. And I usually say open it in a new window so it's easy for them to get back to my website. And there it is. Don't forget to click save. And now over here I'm going to just refresh. This is that same page. So here we've uploaded to School World, and here we've uploaded it to Dropbox, and you can see in the bottom left hand corner the URL that it's using there to find that. So if they click on either one of these, it's going to say, what do you want to do with this file? Do you want to save it or do you want to download it? Just open it and download it. So I'm going to cancel out of that, but I'm going to get the same message here. Okay, so we have taken care of step 2, get the lesson online. Step 3 is the important one. Really, there are 3 different options, and they're going to want to determine what the best option for them is. The best for most people with a decent internet connection is going to be to download Smart Notebook themselves and install it at home on their computer. This will give them the ability to not just get full functionality viewing the lessons that you post, but also to create their own. So how can they do that? We've covered this before, but let's just do a quick refresher. If they go to our website and they go to curriculum and they go to instructional technology, under on-demand professional development and smart, you'll see once we get to the smart page, here are a whole bunch of little links to tutorial videos, but once they get to the smart page, if they click on product code, this little subpage that shows up under here, the password is welcome. Here is the activation code, and here's a link to the download for Smart Notebook. So they can download it at home, use this code to activate it, and they'll have a fully functioning version of Smart Notebook and be able to do everything just like you can. Alright, option number 2. If you don't want to download Smart Notebook, because it is a fairly big file, then they can just download the lesson itself. And then they're going to go to Smart Notebook Express. So let's see what that looks like. First thing we're going to do is download the lesson. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to say save it, just like as if I was a student. And it's thinking. You can see our downloads. Okay, so there it is. So now I'm going to just see where that is. Looks like it's on the desktop. Okay, so they download the lesson first. Next thing they do is they go to Smart Notebook Express. If you just Google Smart Notebook Express, it'll come right up, but here's the actual URL up here if you need it. But once you get here, then you can say, I want to open an existing notebook file. And immediately it prompts them to browse to wherever that file is. So if I go to my file, it's going to pull it in. Of course, it's going to depend on how big the file size is. Okay, and there's our lesson. Now, a few things to point out here. First, you don't have nearly the same functionality. Like if I wanted that dual page view and pin page so that I can drag and drop and things like that, it's not there. There are some formatting issues. You can see this word orange, which didn't appear on the real thing, in the wrong spot. Over here in the real notebook file in Smart Notebook, it's showing up in the right spot, but online it's not showing up in the right spot. There is some functionality. I mean, you can work with the files and you can do a lot. It's browser based, so there's no download required for the actual program. You're doing everything in the web and in the cloud. And I'm sure this will improve over time. But right now, it's a great way for them to access basic notebook files without having to download Smart Notebook themselves. All right, let's look at option number 3. This is the best option for those with a really slow internet connection. They're going to copy the URL or the web address or link to the lesson that you posted on Schoolworld or Dropbox. Okay, so how do you do that? All it takes is right-clicking on the actual link and copying the link location. Or if you've uploaded it to Schoolworld with the Files tab, you can right-click on that and do the same thing. Copy link location. So basically we're just copying that web address to our clipboard. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say File, Open URL. And now we're just going to paste that in here. What's really neat about this is I never even had to download the lesson. Instead, I just put the URL or the web address into Smart Notebook Express so that we could bypass downloading anything. Alright, so I hope that covers all the basics. As usual, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to work with you one-on-one to help you do this. Obviously, I think it's of great value to get your lessons online so that students can get more time with them. You know, we all learn it at different speeds, and it will be very helpful for them to be able to either preview what happens tomorrow in terms of the lesson or review what happened today, or maybe take advantage of some of the interactive capabilities of Smart Notebooks so that they can learn more effectively. Thank you. Appreciate your time.